Been a lot hotter this week. Let's hope it doesn't turn chilly. This week I'm going to be talking about confidence. Hang around to the end when I'll give you the secret to how I can stand in front of so many people and speak. It's all right, I'm filming. So here's a quick update before we get into it. I've continued to look for gigs, this time a bit further afield all around the country, and I've continued writing stuff. The big change is people who've already seen me have contacted me and asked me to do future slots. Some of them 10 minutes, which is exactly what I was going for autumn. So it's all quite exciting. Anyway, back on with it. Don't worry, this isn't turning into a cooking vlog. I'm just preparing dinner. And that's really the first tip. Make sure you prepare before speaking in front of an audience. And when you are preparing your material, it's always best to cut, and cut some more. Because you want the confidence that you've got only the very best stuff remaining. And that will help you when you get on stage. Believe it or not, as a young man, I was a shy kid. Didn't have many social skills. And I still really don't. I have to work at them all the time. I have to remind myself to read the atmosphere in a room before I interact with people, especially strangers. And I have to judge people's receptiveness to me, my sense of humour, my rather abrupt comments. When listening to people, no matter how interested I am in what they've got to say or how good of friends they are, I still find I've only got a few moments before I glaze over. For that reason, I quite often find myself butting in and interacting when I shouldn't do. I should be listening. It just keeps me engaged. When I'm having a conversation with somebody or I'm on the phone with somebody, I often finish abruptly and I have to say to myself, did I actually say goodbye? Did I cut them off mid-sentence? On the flip side, I'm good at maths and physics. I do wonder about people who spend so much time on their mobile phones that they deny themselves the opportunity to develop real-world social interactions, especially if they're young. I guess the positive is you can make friends and contacts all around the world and experience more of the world and different cultures. Anything that brings the people of Earth closer together is surely a good thing. To get over my shyness as a young man, two things happened. Firstly, I started drinking beer. Tip number 2 is definitely not to drink alcohol, although I'm no angel. It is to make the most of any social interactions you get. Find people who've got a similar interest, and one of the best ways of doing that is to join a club. That way you have a conversation already started and made for you. And now for tip number 3, my final one and the biggest one I've figured out. I've been making videos for years, initially as a teacher. It's a hideous thought, knowing that you're going to have to watch and listen to yourself as you edit the videos. And even worse, be present when other people watch them. You see, the thing is, what I tell myself, and it's the same thing I tell myself before I get on stage in front of a bunch of strangers, and that is, get over yourself, Carl. When I was a kid, I used to do ballet. My friends used to come around and ask my mum if I wanted to come out and plie. You see, most of my friends won't watch these videos. Why should they? If I'm lucky, a couple hundred strangers will be watching. Hello. YouTube has 5 billion active viewers every month, so I'm not of interest to most people. I can record myself in front of a crowd of strangers and nobody cares. Of course, I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm lucky enough to have friends and family who care about me. The point I'm trying to make is that although they care, they're not really interested. So when I get on stage and when I film myself, I say to myself, get over yourself, because I'm not a big deal to anybody else. So if you can stop worrying about you, there's nothing else to worry about. Of course, when people do eventually pay to come and see me on stage, I may well get the jitters then. See you next week. Bye.